Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the top 25 non-galactic legend character ranking for October 2023. I try to do this every 3 months or so. It is no one's opinion but my own, and I try to account for all game modes, but I give a heavy nod to the more important ones. Grand Arena, Territory Wars in there as well, but I don't try to pick any one-hit wonders like SWGOH Press and Wampa aren't on the list because they're only good in Grand Arena. And as you see, there are 3 characters out from last month. We got Marin, Piet, and Mara Jade. Those are fantastic characters, amazing characters, but maybe they're ranked like 26 through 28. There's over 250 characters in the game now, and it's really hard to rank them all, so everyone on this list is completely amazing. But again, it's based on my experience, my own opinion, so I'm not infallible with it. And some characters, like Giant Kestis, I have less experience with them. So I'd love to hear your opinions at the end of the ranking, see what you think, what I got wrong, what's good. Usually there's not a ton of dissension, but usually there is some good suggestions that I take into consideration for the next time. Now to start, I like to go over them in groups of 5, starting with rank 21 through 25. I have little icons to indicate where their shift was from last quarter, or if they're new, like R2-D2, Tarful, new on this list. Tarful, I had to give him a nod, put him at 25 because he is not only super valuable in Territory War where he has an Omicron, he's extremely good in Grand Arena when given the right setup. Granted, he's benefiting a lot from Datacrons right now, but he really lifts up that Wookiee faction to great heights. I lost against a Tarful team with Riva recently in Grand Arena, and I was just shocked. And yes, the Datacron gives him a boost, but I had a Datacron too. And I'm not trying to consider Datacrons because they're a very seasonal impact, but they do affect my way of thinking because they alter my own experience, and it's hard to remove myself from that. So just a note there. Seer went down 2, but that's mainly just because she was displaced by some newer characters that come in above her. We have R2-D2 in there, and then Terran Malicos, I will tell you, is ranked pretty highly. So if anyone went down like 1 or 2, they might just be treading water and be the same place that they are. Same thing with Boush Leia. Boush went down 2 spots. That's because R2-D2 came in above her. Terran Malicos. Zori, she fell down 4 spots because I've a little soured on her a bit in game modes outside of Grand Arena. Like in Territory War, it's very hard to find a great use for her. She doesn't hold up super well on defense, and I've used her a lot on offense against not huge stretches of teams, and it's hard to get wins. So yes, she is amazing, fantastic in Grand Arena, but overall, I had to knock her down to 22, which is still just an incredible spot to be in. R2-D2, I'll tell you right now, I don't have Drogon on this list, and he's in the honorable mentions, but it was a hard call. I think R2-D2 just powers up the Leia team more than Drogon in a way, just his supporting role. She juices up his stats to an insane degree. He shares them with everyone. The stealth is a really annoying mechanic for that Leia team, hard to deal with. And I don't know, he adds the cleansing. He's just doing a ton for that team. Of course, he is not that. I'm trying to consider all these characters in their best possible teams, because R2-D2 without Leia is not anything special. He wasn't even in honorable mentions before. But right now, if you've gone against the Leia team, he has a wrecking ball, and it is shocking. And he literally stuns you with his shock prod. So I think he merited a pretty good spot. Put him in at 21. Let me know what you think. He might deserve lower than that. But then like Boush Leia, still incredible on the Java. She's such a lifter for him. So many bombs. Great on defense because her animation speed is so slow. It'll time you out like you wouldn't believe. And Seer, she got Malicos. Great leader for that. Not as strong in 3v3 because they're very vulnerable to a Gidme team. But she is incredible both in Territory Wars and Grand Arena. So I still think she deserves a top 25 spot on this list. Next up, we got rank 16 through 20. We got a few people treading water here and only going down 1. Rex bumped up a couple spots because I think last time I hadn't seen him fully in action in 3v3 and across the spectrum. He's so amazing. He lifts that Phoenix team so high to new heights. He can beat Lord Vader very consistently, Jabba sometimes, with just a Phoenix team, and it's all because of him. So he is just fantastic, not even just in Grand Arena, Territory Wars 2, but in Grand Arena is where he really shines. Been propped up a little bit by Datacron right now, but after that, that's why he's not even higher. After that, he's still going to be amazing Grand Arena, even in Territory Wars. Like, he's still going to get a lot done. Treya Treading Water fell down 1. She got displaced a bit. Still fantastic in Grand Arena. I don't feel as safe with her in some counters as I used to, like against Riva. I don't know. Like, the percentages of wins are going down with her. And overall, I don't know. It's just not quite cutting it. But she is still fantastic in Grand Arena. If this was just a Grand Arena ranking, she'd be higher, but it's not. And she has way less use in Territory War. Frankly, other game modes too. Grand Inquisitor knocked him down 4 just because, I don't know. Maybe just it's partly displacement and partly, I don't know, maybe my own personal lack of success with Inquisitors lately. He's still a fantastic character, needed with Riva. If you don't have him with Riva, you're not going to be counting Galactic Legends. He just brings a lot to that team. So still 19 ain't bad, but he is just getting displaced by a couple characters above him. Chewbacca Treading Water. He's the lowest ranked of that CLS trio because I think Han's doing a lot more and then CLS is the leader. But still a fairly good rank. Afra bumped her up a little bit just because, you know, she has great value in like cleaning up Galactic Legends, which is an underrated role to have because not everyone can do it. As long as like Boosh isn't there, she can beat Java Team pretty easily. On Grand Arena 5v5, she's much stronger because she has Omicrons. The reason she's so low and she's like a Star Killer type character is because she gets demolished on defense when you have the right counter, like Han, Chewie, with Dash or CLS in 5v5. She just gets ripped to shreds. But going first and increasing everyone's cooldowns and inflicting doubt is really powerful. Just overall, she does have a really strong kit, so she's ranked 16 for me. Moving on to 11 through 15, we got a lot of former top 10 characters here. Most notably, I bumped up Cal Kestis 3 spots. I had limited experience or info on him last time I did this ranking, and I still do because I don't have him. But the fact that he's he's incredible, but the fact that he's an offense-only character mainly is why he's not in the top 10. If he had any viability on defense, if his AI wasn't so stupid, he'd probably be a top 10 character. The insta-kill is super valuable. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Being propped up right now by his own Datacron, which is nice, but still fantastic character. Really lifts that Jedi faction with it. If you put him with Jedi Master Luke, Jedi Master or Jedi Knight Luke, Jedi Knight Revan, like there's tons of different uses for him. Even Bastille in 3v3, you can get a lot out of him. Insta-killing anyone that's not like a GL or anything, like Malgus is a popular use. Super nice. Jedi Knight Revan knocked down a few spots, and that was at the expense, like Cal Kestis rose at Revan's expense. There were a few other bumps against him, but I still think he's an incredible character. 12 is still super high, and he deserves it. His kit is like timeless. Like it's a 2018 kit, and still there are things he can do no one else can do. He is an integral part of a Leia counter in 5v5. Put him with Jedi Master Luke, mark her down, and then you can just, like, Leia needs you to hit the rest of her team, but with Revan, you can just mark her. She's not going to get stealth, buff immunity. Fantastic, super valuable, savior mechanic, all kinds of things. He's like a Swiss Army knife. The only thing he's not good at is dealing a lot of damage and surviving, really. He's kind of flimsy, which sounds like a big deal, but he is still super valuable. What? Going down 3, I mean, I think the game is in a phase now where, yes, you can give the tank tech, which prevents like debuffs stopping you on your own turn, but it doesn't give extra survivability. And if you've seen Supreme Leader Kylo Ren try to counter Leia in 3v3, you gotta notice this, like the damage is outpacing the recovery. They don't get to go in time to use that. And the med pack's fine, and the weapon tech, you know, it's just, since his nerf a while ago, I keep seeing less and less uses. They nerfed Maul with Imperial Super Commando, so you can't use Watt in there, and that was another use. Like, it's just less and less uses. I feel like all the time, more often than not, I just put them with Sith Eternal on offense and call it a day. Then Han and CLS, I mean, I talked a little about them with Chewbacca. I put Han at the top of the 3 just because I think the shooting first is like super valuable. And I might be wrong, maybe CLS should be higher. They're very close. But Han can make things work with anybody. Like, if I see Han and Chewie on a team, I'm scared of them, even if they're without CLS. And CLS without Han and Chewie really needs some help. In 3v3, of course, CLS can make it work with 3PO and Chewie and C3PO, but I think that's an inferior team to like Dash, Han, and Chewie. And Dash is an honorable mention on this list. I don't think he merited getting up here. But Han, that shooting first stunning, and like the amount of attacks he can do in a row, the amount of damage he can output, really just keeps him up for me. So only falling down one, he's still treading water for this ranking. Now the top 10. This is where the fun begins. We got 6 through 10 Malicos, Starkiller, Malik, Darth Revan, and Jedi Knight Luke. Malicos is the new one, the new kid on the block, and I don't know where to put him. Top 6 seemed really good for me. I definitely think he deserves it. Not just because of his performance in Grand Arena, which is incredible. Like, those Omicrons are insane. And the data, like, his own specific datacron kind of sucks. Like, he is good without a specific prop up. And not only that, he is strong outside of Grand Arena. In Territory Wars, we did some pretty good stuff with him. He's good on defense in Territory War because the Seer team is strong on its own. So he's kind of like Starkiller, but I bumped Starkiller. Starkiller fell a lot for me. And I don't know, maybe this is a function of him failing me for the last time against Rey. But I always gave him such a high ranking, even though he's mainly just a Grand Arena character, because he was so good against Galactic Legends. And while you might say, well, Zenjita, you just need to learn how to do it better. Maybe you need that last Omicron on his barrel throw. But the numbers bear out that it's like 50, 60, 70% given the comp for everybody across the board. So it's not just me. Yes, I even know a lot of the things to do, and it still fails a lot. So he's really getting bumped down. Still good in Territory War, but he needs a Omicron on a different character to bump him up. So I feel bad for Starkiller because I love him, but he fell out of the top 5 for me. If this is a Grand Arena top 5, maybe he'd get up there, but maybe not even then. So Malicos does feel a little bit more valuable than Starkiller. Even the characters below him, I mean, like the amount of damage Malicos can do is insane. And we're just now getting our hands on him for the past few weeks. 3v3, I think he's not on a Seer team as much. That's not really where he needs to be unless you put him with Calorana Mask, but still super great character. Jedi Knight Luke stayed exactly the same spot because I knocked down Revan and Luke stayed as is. Luke and Cal are pretty close. I mean, in power level, they're so different in what they do. But Luke just overall feels like I'm going to have to use Cal before I can decide. But Luke is good even when he's not on offense. So the AoE Irresistible Stun, fantastic, reducing damage. He does tons of damage himself. His leadership has some use. I even got a lot of holds and won a Grand Arena match because he was getting me holds in 3v3 as a sneaky defensive play. So super strong, great damage output. And actually like one of the highest base protections in the game, even among Galactic Legends. Like, it's insane. He's really durable. And Malik and Revan, they fell down one, but like basically they tread water because Malicos came in above them. Malik and Revan, super crazy, like really good. I think Malik is a better asset in PvP. You put him on a team, it's more impactful. Just because you're afraid to hit him, you're going to get that fear passively. Darth Revan's still amazing. Better than his Jedi counterpart in a lot of ways. Jedi Knight Revan can rise to a higher height because of pairing up with a Galactic Legend and other amazing Jedi. But Darth Revan, in his own right, still fantastic character. AoE Fear is super powerful. And even the fact that I can't have assist called on him makes him really nice in defense in Grand Arena. I've still had a lot of luck just using a standard Darth Revan, Bastila, and Malik on defense. So 6 through 10, fantastic. Malicos, new. Who knows where he falls in 3 months from now when we see it a lot more. But right now, super impressed by Malicos. And the last set of 5, the top 5 characters in the game. Pretty much the same as they were before, except with the place of Maul in there instead of Starkiller. So Starkiller left to make room for Maul. And this guy's doing crazy stuff. I also bumped Kat up 2 spots, not because things really changed with her, but because Starkiller fell down, in my opinion, so Kat filled the gaps there. And Malgus, you know, Jedi Knight Cal kind of has his number, so he's not an only Galactic Legend draw on defense anymore. He might fall even more for me, so 3 months from now, he might go lower. I've even been able to use better counters to him in Grand Arena. Treya, Nihilus, and Geonosian Brood Alpha has been a really cheap one for me comparatively. But otherwise, he has a lot of Galactic Legend qualities, like reduced damage from percent damage health effects. His max health and max protection is insane. He has like 600,000, like one of our recent opponents, I could see at the beginning when Malgus healed 100% at the beginning, he had like 600,000 hit points between health and protection. Just insane. Like, he is so chunky. But Cat, timeless use, insta-kill, insane stat buffs on the team. Just amazing character. I think she deserves to be in the top 3 slot because she has not wavered one bit. Even without Jedi Master Kenobi, she can do amazing stuff on a Padme team. You can put her with Rey, you can put her with anyone. I think JMK needs her more than she needs JMK. Reva's still the top. I don't see enough to displace her, and even though I lost to a Tarful team with her, I think that was partially user error and partially like a big Datacron impact. But there's no other non-Galactic Legend character that can take out more Galactic Legends than the Reva team. She still feels kind of overpowered, but compared to when she came out, it's not as egregious as I once felt because there are balances. It's a fast and furious team. If they don't get the job done really fast, it's over. There are more counters for them on defense than it felt like there used to be. Although some aren't working as well. Like Treya doesn't seem to be working as well as it used to. But still, amazing character, amazing team. Number 1 for Reva. Number 2 for Gas. Still, I still like the only one to displace him ever has been Reva. I still consider him better than Cat, just because Cat is dependent on, well, I don't know, it's weird, like, it's hard to explain my thinking, but Gas is a reliable counter to Malicos, who is new. Gas, even when he's not on his own 501st team, which is the best use for him, I was using JML against Leia in Arena, and I couldn't beat them until I brought Gas in and did massive damage with this guy, with his specials. It was like 200, 300,000 damage. Just so many things in this kit. Really flexible, prevents revives, that's super valuable, keeps coming up. Not being able to lose health on his whole team is what makes him so good against a Malicos team if you mod them right. So Gas is still sitting pretty at number 2. And the last one I'll talk about is Maul. Maul has got bumped up partially because of Imperial Super Commando, because that team, the Dark Side Mandalorians, is just melting people's faces. I know people like Maul could be Galactic Legends before in certain circumstances, like Jedi Master Luke, but it never seemed quite as reliable or easy as it does now. And he probably merits going up a little bit higher. I just want to wait to see how things shake out in the next few months, how things go with Imperial Super Commando, because I still haven't got any maximal use out of him in Grand Arena personally. I haven't been able to figure out what the best way to go is, but I just have a weak guard Imperial Super Commando. Anyway, fantastic character. I'm happy to put him in the top 5 for the first time. Oh, quick look at the honorable mentions page. I'm not going to mention something for each character. These are characters that either were in the top 25 in the past, or I thought deserved to get close. Savage is there, but not really, because I mean, it's just Grand Arena only. I put him here just because in Grand Arena he's a top 25 character. Drogon is new here. I added Ahsoka Fulcrum because she does insane damage. However, it is kind of reliant on Seer outside of Territory War, but in Territory War, just insane. So she really could have deserved a nod. But all these are fantastic characters that I thought were worth mentioning here. So that's it for this one. Just one last look at the whole top 25 and who's out from last month. Excited to hear from all you guys about your differences of opinion. Who do you think deserves their spot? Who do you think should be here? Who's too high? Who's too low? Stuff like that. I would love to read over it and consider it for the next time I do this, approximately 3 months from now. Thanks so much guys for watching. Don't forget to like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing. Appreciate it. See ya.